Welcome to Beauties, you beauty. Let's go.
These women are making good money.
Or have opportunities to make, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
actual money. The WNBA, and it's so interesting, excuse me, with the free agency and all of that because it really put into perspective because they couldn't sign anything until February 1st. And then it was there's a reason they call it free agency frenzy, right?
Oh, it was trying to keep track of because everybody is an insider on Twitter, right? Like
Oh yeah.
everybody is an
Yeah.
insider. Everybody knows what's going on. So trying to find those key people that actually are like in the trenches of it all and
Hmm.
following them. This must have just been the craziest month for them because
For sure.
there was rumors of European leagues
Hmm.
paying the women more to sit out a WNBA season to
Hmm.
go play for them. And it's like, okay, well, if you're going to make, 250,000 playing in the WNBA, or they're going to pay you 500,000 to not play.
Yeah, to
It's,
travel and
it's
hang
a
out for a year.
very interesting dynamic, but there was a lot of, once February 1st hit, a lot of key signings that were expected. Sylvia Fowles back with the Lynx, Stewart, Lloyd,
Mhm.
and Bird in Seattle.
Mhm.
Asia Wilson stayed in Vegas. They would
Yep.
have done everything they could to keep her.
Yeah, you assume.
Everything to keep her. Jonquel Jones re-signing in Connecticut. Uh, Mercedes Russell's re-signing in Seattle. So they've got a really good core. Clea Copper re-signing in Chicago. So like a lot of really key people that you're wanting to keep.
Yep.
Like they're creating their foundations, right?
Yep.
There has been some movement though.
Yeah,
Like
oh,
as
yeah.
much as there's been stable consistency re-signings,
Yep.
there has been some big key
Yeah,
movements.
you're not
One of
wrong.
which being Diamond DeShields.
I know. That one shocked me,
Me too.
honestly. That one really, really shocked me. And I think you made a good point before we hit record today, just in the coaching changes that have happened. And last week, us talking about Sandy Brondello and Vanessa Nygaard, and it's like you really we talked about the Chicago Sky and why you wouldn't want to stay there, but it has been a lot of uneasy ground for them after becoming a championship team. And I think you're right. There is a lot of credit due to coaching staff in new organizations.
Yeah, because if you looked at what Candace Parker was thinking she was walking into with the Chicago Sky organization, she was the glue
Hmm.
that was going to bring everybody together for that leadership piece to get the championship. They got it,
Hmm.
and
Mass exit.
mass. And we talked about that as well too. Like generally when free agency happens, it's not like the whole starting lineup is in question. It's like, okay,
No.
maybe one, maybe two, like not not
W-
Vandersloot, Quigley,
Yeah. The Shields.
DeShields, Dolson's
Dolson.
gone.
Yeah.
Like where did this feeling
Some
of
disconnect somewhere.
and so obviously Chicago's thinking, okay, this is where we signed Clea Copper. She
Hmm.
was an absolute she was the MVP of the WNBA championship. So it's like, we're gonna keep her.
Yep.
We're gonna keep her and let's now move all these other pieces. And I think there was a little bit of, okay, where do you feel I fit? Because Courtney Vandersloot owned
Hmm.
own. And then Quigley wins the 3-point the competition in the middle of the All-Star game against
Yeah.
Jonquel Jones. So
Yep.
you've got the league MVP, you've got somebody that's a shooter like Allie Quigley who can beat her and did beat her one-on-one in that competition. And then it's like, well, we don't know where you fit. It's like, well, I'm a shooter, and
Yeah.
that's where I fit.
But
It
also I
get,
fit last year. Like
and I
that's
fit.
always the confusing part
That's
to me. But I fit last year, but now you're not sure where I might fit.
So it's very interesting as Stephanie Dolson has now moved on to
Liberty.
Liberty,
Yep.
signing a 2-year deal with them. Called it. We
Yeah, you
called it.
yeah, yeah,
We called it. And so I saw it
yeah,
a mile away. She's from there.
yeah,
I just feel like she had this connection with Sandy Brondello, coaching a player like Brittany Griner. I
yeah,
feel like that was a big piece of the
yeah.
decision. I could be wrong, but all in all, she signs there on a 2-year deal. Then we hear Diamond DeShield heads over to
Yeah,
Phoenix.
Phoenix. I
Heads
know.
over to Phoenix. So You gotta give Vanessa Nygaard credit.
Hugely. Hugely,
Gotta
hugely.
give her credit, like, holy man, has she been like, she's putting in the work.
And she's stacking a roster.
Yeah, and she is stacking her
Like,
roster, and it was funny because there's a guy on Twitter, and all he wrote was WNBA winners, and it was Liberty and Phoenix, losers, Atlanta and Indiana,
yeah.
and I was like, "He's not
Wrong.
wrong,
Yeah.
though." You know, it's bold. It's like
Yeah.
a very blunt
That's a
statement
very
that it's
Twitter
like
statement,
that's a
though.
Twitter statement, that's
The
right,
thing you
but
can say behind your keyboard.
yeah, exactly, but I you
But
can't
hard to argue with that lineup that he's put or, Vanessa's putting together in Phoenix. Like, he's
well
not wrong.
well, if you look at and they just signed Kia Nurse
Yeah,
as
so
well.
it's yeah, it's
It's
just
Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, Skylar Diggett-Smith, Diamond DeShields, and Kia Nurse.
yeah, okay.
Um,
There
win,
yeah,
win. You're just
yeah.
winning all the time. So that for me, I'm a huge Diamond DeShields fan as well. So for her moving, um, that is something very interesting because I thought that she like they had a really good thing going in Chicago. So I think that's why we always keep coming back to that kind of conversation is that has been the biggest maybe shock of
Mhm.
the free agency is like why is this team that was just like clicking along deciding to make all these moves